Imagine your dog sitting in the middle of the room, staring intently at a corner before suddenly erupting into a sharp, persistent bark that just won't stop. You turn around to look, but there is nothing there except an empty corner, a blank wall, and some wallpaper. When you tell her to be quiet, she pauses for only a second before starting up again, making you think it is just a passing whim. Maybe she was startled by her own shadow, or is simply letting off steam after a long walk. But the truth is, she hears, feels, or smells something real. What she perceives is actually there. It is just that your own senses are not tuned to that specific frequency. There is a specific point in this story after which you will never be able to say the phrase, barking for no reason, without immediately correcting yourself. That moment isn't at the beginning. It is hidden exactly where you would least expect it. The expression, barking for no reason, implies that there is no cause, but that simply is not the case because a reason always exists. Dogs evolved as animals that had to detect threats or prey long before any predator could, which shaped their entire biology. Every system in a dog's body is finely tuned to perceive signals that the human body simply cannot register as information. While we did not inherit these sensory tools, she certainly did, making a bark at a blank wall a form of specific, directed communication rather than a quirk. You simply cannot see the source that she is addressing. A dog's hearing operates in a range from 40 to 65,000 Hz, whereas a human only hears between 20 and 20,000. The upper limit of our hearing is actually the lower limit of what she hears without any effort at all. Research conducted by Richard and Harriet Hefner, starting in the 1980s, revealed that a dog can localize a sound source with an accuracy of 6 degrees at a distance of up to 25 meters. For comparison, a human's accuracy is only 23 degrees, meaning a dog's precision is nearly 4 times greater than our own. Beyond hearing, a dog's olfactory epithelium contains about 300 million receptors, compared to only 6 million in humans. She doesn't just smell things more strongly, she analyzes chemical signatures in places where your nose registers absolutely nothing. This scent lingers through walls, through packaging, and even through time, remaining long after the source has disappeared. When she barks into an empty corner, something far more significant is happening than you might realize. Beyond the 20,000 Hz mark lies a territory that human hearing simply cannot enter. Dogs move freely in the ultrasonic range up to 65,000 Hz, which is where mice and rats communicate almost entirely. In this same range, you can find the high-pitched squeal of old electrical wiring under a load or the signals from gas pipes under pressure. Even a working inverter or an old transformer emits frequencies that a dog's ears pick up as a clear, localized signal. While you hear silence, the wall she is barking at might literally be hissing, squeaking, or humming to her. It is not the same perception of space that we experience, as dogs also tap into the infrasound range below 20 Hz. Although neither humans nor dogs hear these low frequencies normally, a dog's body perceives them as vibrations through their paws and skeletal system. Earthquakes actually begin with an infrasonic wave that arrives several minutes before the first tremors are felt by people. Following the earthquake in the Italian region of Abruzzo in 2009, cases were documented where dogs showed extreme anxiety and barked 30 to 40 minutes before residents felt anything. This is not mysticism or a coincidence, but rather pure physics acting on a nervous system calibrated for ranges we cannot process. One owner of a 7-year-old golden retriever named Nora told her vet that for 3 weeks the dog barked at the same bedroom wall every night around 1 or 2 in the morning. At first, she thought Nora was dreaming or reacting to outside noises, but after a week, she noticed the dog always targeted one specific spot. When they finally opened the wall panel, they discovered an active nest of rats moving through the gaps between the floors. Nora wasn't barking at a wall. She was barking at the ultrasonic signals and scents of the rodents behind 20 centimeters of plaster. The owner realized she had spent 3 weeks scolding her dog for trying to explain a real danger. A dog's sense of smell is architecturally different from ours because it is designed to analyze air in a separate nasal chamber. While some air goes to the lungs, another portion is trapped for a detailed chemical breakdown of the source. This allows them to read molecules diffusing through brick, wood, and metal in any direction. If there is a hidden pipe leak, rotting wood, or a pest infestation behind a wall, the dog knows it without needing an X-ray. They also change their behavior before a storm, long before we hear thunder or see the sky darken. This is due to infrasound from the storm front and changes in the electrical potential of the atmosphere. Research from 2013 even found that dogs prefer to align themselves with the Earth's magnetic lines. This means the magnetic field is a part of their spatial map, and barking before a storm is a reaction to a measurable signal. If you ever thought barking at nothing was a reason to laugh or yell, you should reconsider the evidence. Dogs have successfully signaled gas leaks, smoldering wires inside walls, and fires in neighboring apartments while their owners ignored them. In these cases, the early warning system was working perfectly, but the message was unfortunately suppressed. However, there is one scenario where the barking stems from an internal glitch rather than an external signal. Cognitive dysfunction syndrome is a neurodegenerative disorder similar to dementia that often begins around age 8 or 9. Studies show these signs in 28% of dogs aged 11 to 12 and 68% of those over 15. One early symptom is vocalization without a reason, especially at night, which is caused by faulty neural activity. It is vital to distinguish this from sensory input because it requires medical or behavioral correction on early stages. Another possibility is a focal epileptic seizure, which is localized in one part of the brain rather than the whole body. These can look like simple behavioral quirks, such as staring into space for a few seconds or snapping at the air. A dog might suddenly bark or growl at nothing for up to 1.5 minutes before returning to normal, as if nothing happened. Because they recover so quickly, these seizures are often dismissed as personality quirks, but they actually require a neurological evaluation. If your dog's barking follows a regular pattern, you should start keeping a detailed observation diary. Note the time of day, the location in the house, and what the dog was doing 15 minutes prior to the episode. Just 3 or 4 entries are usually enough to reveal whether there is a consistent pattern. If it happens at the same time and place, the cause is likely hidden in the building's infrastructure. If the barking coincides with weather events like storms or high winds, it is almost certainly a sensory reaction to environmental changes. For dogs older than 8 years whose barking occurs at night alongside disorientation, you should see a veterinarian immediately to discuss cognitive health. You can even test for ultrasonic interference yourself by using a sound analysis app on your smartphone to check for peaks above 18,000 Hz. While this isn't a formal diagnosis, it moves you beyond simple guesswork and toward understanding your pet's reality. When she stands at the wall barking, she is seeing a layer of reality that exists in the same room, but on a different frequency. There is no real misunderstanding between you. There is only a fundamental difference in the sensory tools you were given. That empty corner is only empty to you, and she is simply being more polite than necessary by trying to tell you about it. Have you ever had a story where your dog's behavior turned out to be a vital signal rather than just a habit? We would love to hear what she was barking at and how the situation eventually ended in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe because our next episode is coming out very soon and you won't want to miss it. In that upcoming video, we will explore exactly why your dog stares at you while you are sleeping. It isn't because she is guarding you, and the real reason explains a lot about how she truly perceives you. Understanding these hidden behaviors can transform your relationship with your pet and open up a whole new world of communication. Join us next time as we continue to decode the fascinating and often misunderstood language of our canine companions.